All right, guys, what's up? Welcome back. I know it's been a while. Last week I posted a couple shorts. I did say in those shorts that I recorded a bunch of video I was going to post on Sunday. And now I realize that it's Thursday of the following week. Me recording that much video, thinking I'm going to make a whole week's worth of video is just too much work for what I want to do. But I'm going to go ahead and just get back into what's been going on and all that kind of stuff. So my last video was week 39. I got everything here. June 12th. Sometimes I weigh in on like a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Friday, just kind of depends on whatever I'm kind of feeling that morning and when I remember to. So June 12th, in my last video, week 39, I was 235.5. That next week, my wife was on vacation, didn't weigh in that week. I weighed in again on June 25th, where I was 233.1. So that would be for my week 41, basically, check-in. July 3rd, I weighed in at 232.6. Week 42. July 11th, I weighed in at 232.3. That would be week 43. I did not weigh in the next week. Now that was week 44. Another week of vacation, eating all kinds of stuff, all that, all the good stuff. Now, July 21st, I weighed back in. That was a Monday. And on that Monday, I weighed in at 239.4. I weighed in every day through the 25th of that week, which is week 45. So the 21st on Monday, I weighed in at 239.4. Tuesday the 22nd, I was 238.3. Wednesday the 23rd, I was 236. Thursday the 24th, 235.1. And Friday the 25th, I was 234.2. So I had a jump from vacation. And then I didn't really do anything specific. I just ate better. Didn't eat a bunch of carbs. We didn't eat out. I didn't drink any alcohol. And I went from 239.4 down to 234.2. A good little drop, not back down to my previous low before going on having vacation, but still back down pretty good. Now on that Saturday, didn't weigh in, didn't eat a bunch of crap, did have a little bit of stuff. Sunday, weighed in, July 27th, weighed in at 234.5. So basically the same, even though I ate a little bit of crap on Saturday. Now, Sunday night, I had some cheesecake. I think I drank a little bit. And then when I woke up Monday, I forgot to weigh in right away. I drank probably 20 to 30 ounces of water, had a coffee. I did mow, so maybe, that would negate some of the water weight. But I did weigh back in at like 11 a.m., maybe 10:30, at 238.4. So just under a 4-pound gain from my Friday weigh-in till my Monday. So starting on Monday, actually not starting on Monday, starting on the 27th, on that Sunday at 6 o'clock, I hit my timer to start a fast. I really wasn't sure how long I was going to be able to go for, but I was looking for a 72-hour fast, something to kind of, jumpstart me getting into a better, space in my head of what I'm going to do when I finish my shots, which is coming up pretty soon. And I thought, you know what? Let's try for a 72-hour fast and just see how it goes. If I make it 24 or 36 or 42, anything's better than not doing anything at all, I guess. I have PAD, peripheral artery disease, so fasting is really good for me for any kind of autophagy and stuff like that. So when like I said, on that Monday, I was 238.4. Could be a couple pounds off. I don't really know because I drank water and coffee and stuff before that. First day of the fast was pretty easy. I don't remember even really feeling hungry. I don't know if I was super motivated. I did stay pretty busy Monday, which, when you're fasting, staying busy really does help. But I made it all the way through, drank. That first day, I've got a little bit of a cold or something also, but that first day I had 90 ounces of water. I had 3 electrolyte packets, and I did have, some pretty good sized pinches of salt under my tongue. But I didn't really feel lightheaded. I didn't feel hungry. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make it, all that kind of stuff. So that first day went pretty good. Slept pretty well that night. Woke up the next morning, didn't feel hungry or anything like that. Now, when I weighed in on Tuesday the 29th, it was 234.7. So, a pretty big drop from, Monday. But like I said, I had water, so it's probably not a true weigh-in. So 234.7. Tuesday was pretty darn easy. I don't remember feeling bad at all. I don't remember feeling lightheaded. I don't even think I felt very hungry. I did stay pretty busy. Maybe not as busy as Monday, but it went pretty easy. So on Monday, I did walk a lot because I mowed, weed eated, blew, sprayed, did lots of stuff outside. Don't think I walked at all or did anything else other than the yard work. Well, Tuesday, I did 20 minutes on the assault bike for my Zone 2 training. It's the first thing I did. And then later on, I came back out and I think I did a 1.25 or 1.5 mile walk. No vest, anything like that. Just kind of walked. I did put it on my incline, my 3% incline, and just did my walk. I didn't feel bad on Tuesday, hardly at all. I did 3 packets of the electrolytes again, but I did bump it up and I drank a gallon of water. So Tuesday, pretty darn easy. I don't even think at night before bed I thought about eating. I was just kind of still pretty motivated and busy through the day, so kind of went easy. I do remember when they made dinner, my wife and my daughter ate dinner, I did go, oh, that smells good. And it was something I don't hardly ever eat, which was like protein pasta with some sauce. So I think that was, I just smelled it and I was like, ooh, that sounds good. But I didn't feel hungry. So I was doing pretty well. Well, Wednesday morning, wake up, that was the 30th, and I weighed in at 232.2, which was my lowest weigh-in that I've had so far. I think it was by, 0.1, but it's still the lowest that I've had so far. On Wednesday, my wife and I went out on a boat. I know it's hot everywhere, and it was so hot out at the beach, it felt like, the sun's trying to hurt you. Did drink quite a bit of water. I had a little pain in my lower left back, so I don't know if that was maybe like my kidney or something, or some dehydration. So I made sure I drank a lot of water out there, drank my electrolytes, brought salt with me. I didn't use any salt while we were out on the boat, but I did bring it with me so that if I started feeling really bad, I had something. Also, right before we left, I did a 1.5 mile walk on the treadmill with the vest. Felt good through the entire thing. So going back to the boat, while we were on the boat, other than the little bit of pain back here, felt really good. I wasn't lightheaded or anything like that. Stayed out for just a couple hours, came back in, came home, and that's when I started feeling pretty crappy. Got in the shower, washed off, and I remember being in the shower and going, oh God, I don't feel good. So my wife actually went and got me salt while I was in the shower, and I threw a lot of salt under my tongue and let it absorb. Finished my shower. When it got out, drank some more water, laid down in bed, felt pretty good. When I didn't actually sleep, but I just laid there for probably half an hour. When I got up, I felt terrible. I felt drained, maybe being out in the heat on the last day of my fast wasn't a great idea. I think I had a little more salt, drank another electrolyte packet and some water. So by then I probably had 80 to 90 ounces of water with 3 electrolyte packets, probably 3 pinches of salt. And then finally, it was just kind of like, you could feel it coming back where you just felt good. I had thought about extending my fast to the next morning for 84 hours. And I think that was mostly because I was like, if I do another 12 hours, when I wake up on Thursday morning, maybe I'll be another pound down, maybe be close to 230, and maybe be in the 220s. But I thought, you know what? I feel really good. I did start thinking about food, but I don't know if that was because, in my head, I had originally set like, ooh, I'm going to eat Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. Here's a picture of my first thing I had. It was a chicken salad with some of the avocado ranch on it. And then I had 4 hot dogs. I didn't really know what else to eat. It was, close to 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30 to 8. So I put 4 hot dogs in the microwave, tiny bit of cheese, lots of mustard, ate that. And then an hour or so later, right around 9 actually, I had a Fairlife protein shake. And then I knew I wanted to stop eating to start another fast by 10 o'clock. So at about 9:45, I had another Fairlife protein shake just because I thought, man, I needed more protein. And then I had a freaking breakfast sandwich. That's the last thing I ate. So I was done at 10, started my timer, and it is now 11 a.m. on Thursday. Now this morning when I weighed in, so yesterday I was at the end of my fast, or in the morning of my fast, I was 232.2. And this morning, weigh myself, and I'm 233.8. 1.6 pound gain after fasting and then eating. I didn't track it. I don't know how much I had, how many calories I had, protein, carbs, all that kind of stuff. Maybe coming up in the next video, I will kind of keep track of that so I can show it. But a 1.6 pound gain after eating what felt like a lot of food within 4 hours. I feel good. I'm happy. Feels good to not be bloated and feeling like crap, all that kind of stuff. Now, I did try to get a prior authorization for my Zepbound. Wrote up a letter about how all this stuff, they submitted it, and last night it was denied. So I currently have 2 7.5 milligram shots left. I'm going to try to keep fasting. We'll see if on Sunday or Monday if I want to take a shot or if I want to try to spread it out, or if I just want to go ahead and say screw it and just stop and go. Wegovy is covered. CVS Caremark making everybody go over to Wegovy, I guess. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to switch. I would be at the highest dose of Wegovy. So I'm just thinking, you know what? Let's just try and see what we can do here. But that's about it. If I forgot anything when I make this video, just here, like an hour, I'll go ahead and put some numbers up on the screen. I'm not doing any retakes. I've already made enough video that I don't post. So I'm going to go ahead and work out, and I will see you guys in a couple days.